I am an honest man, but in addition to this honesty, I also have what would be considered compassion. Compassion more so than humanitarianism, because it's a compassion which I show toward, well, in a word, bugs, insects, spiders in particular. In this house alone, we have spiders, insects, and bugs, the likes of which I've never seen before. And generally speaking, like hopefully a lot of you do, I tend to leave them alone. Let them go about their business, do whatever they wish to do, and I spare them the rolled up newspaper, which so many people would deliver unto them. However, every now and then we come up with a spider that's a little bit on the intimidating side. And going back to that newspaper, again, hopefully like most of you, I will take it and hold it out on the floor, sort of coax the spider onto it, and then take it either to the front door or to the back door and put it outside, let it go about its business in nature. And this is something that I have done here in this house, and it is also something which I used to do when I lived downtown. The difference is, downtown, I was living not so much in a house, but in a tenement building, and also being downtown, right in the heart of urban gritty downtown, they weren't spiders, they were cockroaches. Now, even in spite of that compassion, I have about as much love for cockroaches as did Upson Pratt. Do you remember him?
Bastards!
Yes. Nevertheless, I just could not bring myself to resort to Black Flag or Raid, bug spray, or again the rolled up newspaper, or just stamping them underfoot. Even then, I felt the need to send them on their way without dispatching them. And what I would do, I remember it wasn't so much a newspaper, it was a flattened Frosted Flakes cereal box. I would put it down to the floor or to the countertop or stove or wherever they happened to be, and sort of coerce them to crawl onto the flattened box. And then here's the difference. Because the door to my flat opened up onto the hallway of the rest of the building and opened up onto a corridor, I couldn't just put it out there because it would still be inside the building. So instead, what I would do is I would walk it over to the window, open the window, level the box alongside the sill, and sort of shake off the cockroach, and shut the window, and there you go. I win because I get to retain my compassion. The bug wins because it gets to live. And I win yet again because the cockroach is out of my flat. Win, win, win. And I recall it was years and years later, I was talking to your late punk's auntie. I think she was having me put a spider outside, and it happened to stimulate the topic of conversation. And I mentioned what I used to do all those years ago when I lived in that tenement building downtown, feeling a little bit, not smug, but at least integral in terms of the compassion which I showed even to the lowly cockroach. And I recall your late punk's auntie looking at me and saying, "When you used to live downtown Portland, Oregon?" And I said, "Yes. The tenement building, that's the one." "You mean the one where you used to live up on the 5th floor?" "Yeah, that's right, at the end of the hall." "So you would take the cockroaches and you would throw them out your window?" "Yes, that's right." "Oh, I know what's worrying you. Rate of descent, gravity, laws of physics. Cockroaches, like most bugs, are literally, metaphorically, lighter than air. I can't imagine that they were harmed by the descent at all. I'm sure they landed just fine." And she looked at me and said, "Oh, I have no doubt. I'm sure the cockroaches were A-OK." But did it ever occur to you that your window overlooked a very busy sidewalk 5 stories below? One which was utilized by hundreds of pedestrians going to and fro, any one of which might not have been fortunate enough to be wearing a hat, and found themselves in for a surprise when an apparition, replete with antennae and multiple appendages, came sailing down onto their head and ultimately their hair. Now, as I said at the onset, in addition to that compassion, I am bestowed with honesty. And I can honestly tell you that I looked back at her and said, in all honesty, ooh, no, that hadn't occurred to me.